Is about special problems with pronoun usage, and the first rule is with appositives. Now, a positive is a noun or a pronoun placed next to another noun or pronoun to identify or describe it. So you'll see two nouns in a row, and the second noun is the same person, place, or thing as the first noun. So a pronoun used as an appositive should be in the same case as the word to which it refers. So basically, if the second noun is a pronoun, then it has to be in the same case as the first noun. So here we have both teachers, Mr. Petrarchus and she, have agreed. The word she and Mr. Petrarchus are appositives to both teachers. Both teachers is a subject. So that means, because of rule number 1, we have to use the nominative case, and that's why we say she instead of her. Here's another one. For two of the major roles in Purlie Victorious, the director chose us, Joel and me. So here we have a direct object, the person who was chosen, us, and then after it we have an appositive that tells you more about it. These two words connect with us. They're an appositive. We use the word me instead of I because in the appositive we have to agree with the first noun here. So let's do some of exercise 5. So in this one you just have to say which word you would choose in the choice. So number 1, on the first day of school, the bus driver greeted we or us students with a smile. So here's our verb, greeted, and here's our direct object. And this appositive, which actually comes before the noun, which is fine, we have to choose the same case as we would for students. Now this is a direct object, so that means we need the objective case. So that's going to be us. Number 2. Owen said that for the first time the basketball team had elected co-captains Mario and he or him. Here's our verb, had elected. Then here's our first noun. This is a direct object. The appositive, the noun that comes after it here, if there is one, has to be in the same case as the first noun. So that means we need to have the same one we would use for a direct object. Direct objects are in the objective case. And if you look at that list, you'll see that him is the objective appositive that you'd want. 3. Two students, Angela and she or her, and then here's our verb, toured. So the subject is two students, and this appositive goes with that subject. So we want to use the pronoun that we would use for a subject. And if you look at that list, and rule number 1, you'll see that you use the nominative case, and on the list you'll see that the nominative case is she. She toured. 4. Should we or us members of the fitness club? Members of the fitness club, here is the subject. And here's the verb. When you ask a question, this is one of the cases where you might have a helping verb start the sentence. Members of the fitness club should sponsor the next walkathon. You can turn that into a question by moving the helping verb to the beginning. Anyway, this is the subject, and here's our appositive, which actually comes before the subject, which is possible. Anyway, the pronoun we want is the one we would use for subjects, and that's the nominative case, and if you look at the list, you'll see that that is the word we. Number 5. The new mural in the cafeteria was painted by two seniors, Chad and he. So here's a preposition, and that means that two seniors is an OP, an object of a preposition. This means that this appositive has to be the same one you would use for an object of a preposition because it goes with this OP, and that's the objective case, so that means the word him. Go ahead and do 6 through 10 on your own. In part 2 here, we're going to look at elliptical constructions. An elliptical construction is a clause from which words have been omitted. The word than or as often begins an elliptical construction. And the rule is a pronoun following than or as an elliptical construction should be in the same case as it would be if the construction were completed. So here's an example. The tenor sang louder than he. And he is the proper one because if you were to write it out, you would see that the word he is the subject. The tenor sang louder than he sang. So when you see the elliptical construction, what you'll have to do is try to figure out what the words that are omitted are, and then make sure that the pronoun is the right one that would go in the complete version like this one. Here's another one. The accident hurt Tim as much as her. And you use her here because if you were to complete it out, you would write out the accident hurt Tim as much as the accident hurt her. This is a direct object. So you would write it in the objective case. There's a little note at the top here. Let's see if it's relevant. In elliptical construction, the pronoun form determines the meaning of the construction. Therefore, you should be sure to use the pronoun form that expresses the meaning you intend. What this is telling you is that sometimes your answer will vary depending on what you think the sentence means. So I think I helped Macaulay more than she, and I think I helped Macaulay more than her. These two sentences actually mean two different things. This means I helped Macaulay more than she helped Macaulay. And then this means I think I helped Macaulay more than I helped her. So they actually mean different things. So you want to be really careful and choose the right pronoun in your writing that actually makes sense. Number one. In this, you just have to write the correct pronoun form. And what they want you to do, though, is they don't want you just to choose. If you look here, they don't want you just to choose the word you would use. They want you to actually write out the elliptical clause. Just write out the whole clause. You don't have to write out the whole sentence, but you do have to write out the whole clause. So number one, have you and the rest of your family lived in this area as long as, so this would be as long as they have. Number two, Nolan has been working at the grocery store longer than he has. Number three, I'm certain that Ava is shorter than I am by at least 4 inches. 4, surely they don't blame Taylor as much as, now there are two choices here. Here's the one I'm going to choose. As much as we do. But you could also write, surely they don't blame Taylor as much as they blame us. You could do that as well, but I'm going to say we do. 5. The field trip next week will probably benefit Roger more than it will benefit me. And go ahead and do 6 through 10 the same way. Good luck.